Hey everybody, I'm on my way to my first lesson today, and I know when I drive there I'm always thinking about okay, specifically what we're going to do. I mean, truly I'm thinking about it the whole week between each lesson, but I know that today we're going to work on some really important things that are always going to be worth your time. And so I have two rules before you mount your horse, especially if it's your horse, my lesson horse, whatever it may be. And that is that we need to bridle softly and we need to stand still for mounting. So the reason for that is because if your horse does not bridle softly and they clamp their teeth shut and they are evading the bridle, you are stepping off on the wrong foot for your session, for your ride. And that horse is mentally putting himself in a position, or you're putting him in a position mentally that is not going to be the most productive. And when people neglect bridling correctly over time, that can become a very difficult habit to undo. And that's why I'm like, if they're not bridling well, we're going to take the time to fix it up as much as we can before we ride the horse. There's a couple ways you can do that, and of course each situation is unique, but I am not opposed to putting a little sweet something on that bit, so whenever it goes to the horse's mouth and they taste that, they'll actually keep licking and take that sweet, molasses, syrup, something like that, applesauce, whatever you want. They'll take it off of the bit, and then they'll be more likely to take it from you again whenever you go to bridle them. But it's not something that you necessarily need to do every time, but it's a good way to kind of bridge that gap if they're not real trusting of a bit, especially if it's been used inappropriately. Now, my second rule is, like I said, that the horse needs to stand still for mounting. So if your horse is not standing still for mounting, that is your first red light, that red flag, whatever you want to call it, that the horse is not inviting you to ride. And so when I go to get on my horse, I want to feel like I actually have an invitation to get on their back versus just I'm getting on their back no matter what they think. And so if they're wiggling around when you're going to ride them or mount them, then we got to try to get that more steady and more still. That one is actually very dangerous. If your horse is moving around whenever you're going to mount them, that can be very dangerous. So you don't want to encourage that. You don't want to just let that slide, because then one day it's just going to be worse and you're going to get yourself hurt or in a real pickle. So those are my two rules. Think about that when you are working with your horses today. Is my horse bridling softly? Is my horse standing still to mount, truly accepting of the fact that I'm getting on their back? And if they're not, ask yourself, what am I going to do to get them to that spot? You might just have to spend some time working on those specific skills, and that might be all you do for the session, and that's okay, because it's the kind of stuff that is worth it for the long run. So hope that was helpful. Hope everybody has a great day.